Welcome by another episode of Sunday Story Time with Sophie. Actually it's Tuesday at the moment, but my mom is coming in the weekend, so probably now when you see this video. So I'm making this by forward. As you can see, my lights are broken because of Poundland. Love you. Thanks. So yeah, but I did bring this with me and I'm gonna light it up for you. Lights. Okay, I'm gonna tell you another story, and this story is inspired by Passenger, by one of his songs about a man, and I'm now gonna tell you my story that I inspired in that song. So yeah, there we go. It's called The Last Cigarette. I'm laying down in my bed, my head facing the ceiling, my eyes wide open. I'm thinking, I'm reliving memories. All the words that were said to me are coming back into my mind. I don't want to hear them. I don't want to have heard them anyways. I shake my head to get them out, but they're still in there. I roll over and go to sit on the edge of my bed, my hands covering my ears, my cheeks wet from the tears. Why does this happen? Why? Why me? It's not fair. What have I done wrong to deserve this? Why? I storm out of my bedroom, down the stairs, into the living room. I walk angrily back and forth. I look in the mirror to see myself crying and filled with anger. My hands grab my hair, trying to pull them out. I scream, "Ah!" I cry. I cry some more, and then I fall tiredly on the couch, breathing deeply. There I am, thinking again, this time not about why, but about how. How did this happen, and how can I change it? I can't. It happened, there's nothing to do about it. But I can change the way I handle it. I sit on straight, I calm myself down, and I set a goal. Yes, that is what I will do. That is what I'm going to do. I get a pen and a paper and write down a list with things I will need to fulfill my goal. Music, money, clothes, water, fruit, sunglasses, a notebook. My hand stops writing. I shake. I can't do this. I throw the pen and the paper in the air. I can't control my angriness. I feel like transforming into a werewolf. The way my body acts when I'm angry, making all those strange noises and movements. I try to punch a wall, but that hurts too much to continue. When I tightened all my muscles in my body, I calm down again. I grab the pen and the paper back from the floor and finish the list. Phone, camera, and a pack of cigarettes. I get my bag, look for all the items on the list in the house, and stuck them in. I refresh the water of the flowers, take one last look in the mirror, and nod to myself. I agree with myself. This is what I should do. Let's go. I close the door behind me and hop onto the motorbike. Cars passing by. All those people passing by, having their own stories. Who knows what they're up to? They might have a similar story to mine, or some totally different story. Who knows? Isn't that wonderful, how people all go through similar things, like breakups and that kind of things, but still have their own stories? I'm thinking again, get my head on the road. After a few miles, I stop at a petrol station for a refill. I pay for the petrol, plug in my headphones, and ride off again. The music has its way to calm down my thoughts. I'm listening to the lyrics of the songs. It's funny how it suddenly all makes sense. Every song I listen to suddenly feels as I have written it. I connect all the words to my life. It gives me comfort to know that music understands me. I lost count of the amount of trees I have seen so far. I lost count of a lot of things. It doesn't really matter anymore. I look at the sky. I see birds flying so peacefully and so free. I wish I was a bird, so that I could just fly away from my problems. but I know that that's not going to happen. And I'm back in that part of my mind again where I'm thinking about my problems. Luckily, I need to concentrate on the road, because my destination isn't so far away anymore. The road gets busier, and the day starts to lose its warmth. The shadow begins to fade away and dissolve into the darkness. I guess it's around 8:30, because the street lanterns start to light up. The longer I ride, the calmer I become. I forget about my problems for a moment, and I feel a sparkle of joy. Joy of the world suddenly seems so beautiful. No worries in my mind, just the road and me. I am glad I hopped onto my motorbike to see my best friend who lives on the other side of the country. I take the action of the highway. I can see the houses coming. The closer I get, the happier I become. I love surprising people. He must be home. It's Tuesday, and on Tuesday he loves to sit in his garden watching the stars while smoking a cigarette. That's what we agreed on doing every Tuesday night, so that how far we are, we will still see the same stars. When I moved to the north of England for my work, I couldn't help but leaving behind in South London. Oh, here I am, number 48. I parked my bike in front of his house. I would knock, but he probably wouldn't hear me because he's sitting in the garden. I know he always hides a spare key underneath one of his flower pots. I look for the key, and when I found it, I open the door. I take off my shoes and put them next to the heating. I hang on my coat and take off my helmet. I look through the window and see him smoking a cigarette. I take a chair from the kitchen table and take it with me into the garden. I place a chair next to him. Without being scared, he looks at me and smiled. For a couple of minutes we don't talk at all, we just watch the stars. After a few minutes he turns to me and asks me, "What brings you here?" I give him my bag with all the things in it. He looks confused at the inside of the bag. He looks at me with a face like, "Explain yourself, because I don't get it." So I explain. "The songs on this iPod," I say while showing him my iPod, "are songs that will explain more after I'm gone. Whatever is left of the money, it's yours. The rest I spend on my way here. Clothes are for me for tomorrow. These sunglasses are yours. You gave them to me, but I won't longer need them anymore. My phone has all the numbers in it you will need." I take out the camera and take a picture of us sitting in our chairs in the garden. The pictures on this camera are pictures I took during my time in the northern England. The rest of the pictures you have on your computer. The water and the fruit is for you. I want you to stop smoking and live healthier. He looks really confused now. I hand him the notebook. The notebook contains letters that I wrote to you. At last I take out a pack of cigarettes. He now looks even more confused and says, "I thought you wanted me to be healthier." I laugh at him and tell him, "Oh, I love you. The pack of cigarettes is mine, my dear friend." I open the pack. There is only one cigarette left. I ask him to light it for me. I sit back in a chair, smoke the last cigarette, and say, "This morning I went to the doctor. He told me I have lung cancer and that I have had it now for 3 months. There's nothing he could do about it to stop it." I inhale the smoke and feel the nicotine settle in my lungs. I blow the smoke into the air. I look at my friend. For someone who can't compete with stressful moments, he looks incredibly calm. He doesn't say a word. He just looks at me and I look at him. When we return looking at the stars, I inhale the smoke for the last time and add to my sentence, "I wanted my last cigarette to be with you, under the stars on a Tuesday night." I blow out the smoke. I see it dissolving into the dark night. I take a last look at my friend and tell him that wherever I will go, wherever I will be, When you look at the stars, one of them will be me. There you go. That is the story. I hope you enjoyed it. I will now spend the rest of the day with my mom, because it's Sunday now, even though it's still Tuesday. But whenever you see this, I will be spending time with my mom. And yeah, I will see your pretty faces next Sunday. Let me know what you think of the story. Did you like it or not? Okay, see you pretty faces next week in Sunday Story Time. Bye!